Hi guys, so in a recent interview, you're going to be getting loads of these because there's so much to unpack. Anthony Joshua states in a recent interview, shouts out to Kugan Cassius for the hour-long interview, that Eddie speaks for me and he's not even in my camp. Eddie doesn't even know what I'm going through. So, listen to this statement, stand by.
What I noticed is that I have people that speak for me and they do it from a good place. Like, people may ask you, Coogan, what's happening? How's he feeling? And you could probably reference something that may not be true or may be true, but people will tend to believe you because we've got a one-on-one connection. Now, I felt like after a while, it's my duty. If no one's going to do it for me, that's actually in my training camp, that knows the ins and outs. We always paint a pretty in my training camp where they see the grind and what type of person I am, how diligent I am, motivated I am, but where that's not happening, like Eddie speaks for me as well, but he's not in my camp. So sometimes when he says things, I'm like, he doesn't have the full 101 on certain things that I'm going through. He says it from his point of view, but his point of view is good, but it's not the everyday things that I'm living and going through. So I thought, let me kind of speak to the people.
I think it's about time because we've been saying it. I've been saying it. Other colleagues of mine have been saying it, that Eddie Hearn is someone that likes to speak. All right, that's his job. He's the mouthpiece. He's the promoter. But sometimes I think Eddie has gone a step too far and says things that Joshua hasn't recommended, hasn't said, hasn't co-signed for him to say. For instance, we'll drop the WBO belt if the WBO doesn't ease us up for, about the Alexander Usyk. For instance, we'll fight Tyson Fury. This was before AJ's second loss. We'll fight Tyson Fury for undisputed, without any belts. We're bigger than the belts. Well, that may be true, but Joshua wanted the WBC belt, and that was the whole point why he wanted to chase whoever had it, be it Wilder, be it Tyson Fury, so he could become undisputed. And Eddie always seems to talking about Joshua still looking massive for the Alexander Usyk fight, when it was clear to see that Joshua had lost a load of weight, whether intentionally or unintentional. I don't know if sometimes it's Eddie Hearn on the same page as Anthony Joshua, and I think to a degree he's not. I think there's a lot of miscommunication in Joshua's camp, between camp promoter, camp trainer, camp nutritionist, where they should all be on the same page. So sometimes I think Eddie needs to rein it in, speak to Joshua, ask Joshua, write them down, good old fashioned style, say, Joshua, what do you want me to put out in PR? The end. Easy like that. Write down some bullet points, Eddie, because you got Joshua now becoming very frustrated, blow deals, because, for instance, when he went to bid for Crawford Porter, and he said, "Oh, I sent out my people to Puerto Rico," like, so then they asked for, then Bob and Al asked for an extension. It's funny after that to try and really sort it out, because Eddie isn't liked, and no fault of his, isn't liked by the alternate promoters. So that missed Eddie that actually potentially being able to host that fight, because they made sure that they got that deal certified and sealed between them two, because they'd rather the hate between them two isn't as much as that their mutual disdain and dislike for Eddie. Eddie speaks too much. Sometimes rein it in, but that is what I wanted to bring you and tie that all in. But AJ, I've seen reports that AJ is not. He's absolutely regretting signing a lifetime career collaboration with Eddie now, because he signed that, which I don't understand why he was kind of pushed to sign that before such a instrumental fight, such a important fight. you would have thought you'd let all the smoke clear, and because Eddie was like, oh, he doesn't know if he's going to stay with Sky DAZN, you know, he can do what he wants, but we don't need to rush to that decision yet because he's got a very important fight. So why did you need to rush to the decision to have him sign over a lifetime career to you? I think Anthony Joshua, I think there's some ruffled feathers between, or there's some friction between Eddie and Joshua. But stand by. This is very interesting in my opinion. Joshua speaks very AJ's taking the reins now. Not everybody's doing this speaker thing. Like, when you're a public figure, you have PR. So Eddie does an amazing job in other facets, but not all jobs are for you to do. Hire a PR. I'm sure they do have PR. Anthony Joshua's under the big Sky Sports wheel. That's something that Coogan didn't absolutely touch if he was going to stay with Sky Sports or anything like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd tie that all in for yous lot. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann, nonetheless. Come back to CHANN. Gone. Eddie. Shh.